Hello trainers, Neto here, and today we're gonna go into some Great League Johto Cup action with some crazy teams to use, and also we're gonna see some specific picks as we're going through the video. With that said, be sure to leave a like to this video to spread around the word that it exists, and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, as it helps us reach that desired mark till Easter. Thank you everyone for being such a huge support to this channel, and now we have to dive into the first team showcase. Starting off, trainers, we're having a very interesting and one of my favorite ones, the Quillfish team, followed up by Noctowl and Granbull. So Quillfish is a very good Pokemon to use nowadays, and it is super spammy with Alcatel Poison Sting, and also has access to a nuke move, Sludge Wave or Blizzard. I use over here Sludge Wave, but I have a feeling that Blizzard will be much better. However, you might need that Sludge Wave for some crazy matchups like the Lantern, so just keep that in mind. It is a generalist that can go pretty well against anything, and it's also a squishy Pokemon. What does that mean, Ganeto? Well, you have to use Shield sometimes to go pretty well with this one. So Noctowl is gonna be the closer of the team. It is a bulky one, and it applies a lot of pressure to the opponent because of its heavy damage, and also can tank some hits, so you can have a very easy matchup against anything. However, it struggles against electric, but still you have the Shadow Ball, and with some cheap damage from the teamwork of this team, you can go pretty high. Not only with its wings, okay? Yeah, that was a bad pun. And we have also the Granbull of the team, which is the safe switch. You can play it as a Snarler or as a Charmer. I prefer it as a Snarler since I can reach to my close combats pretty easily and much faster. And also Crunch can really help against any neutral threat or to grab some shields and then apply the debuff. It is also a squishy Pokemon, much like the Quillfish, but I think that doesn't have any weakness at all other than those poison types, which are not gonna be a lot in the meta, yeah. And also the core breakers are gonna be the Lantern because it destroys down the Quillfish and the Noctowl, and the Skarmory, which can go pretty hard against anything. But still, with a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of cheap damage, you can be in a very good spot. And this team can go pretty well against anything else, so I really recommend to you. Next up, trainers, we have the strongest core team. Umbreon and Azu is gonna be the strongest core of the meta of the Johto Cup, and also we're gonna pair it with Lugia because Lugia has access to Dragon Tail, and I prefer it over Skarmory for that single reason. Dragon Tail gives it a whole new neutral coverage against the electric types, and that's what this team needs. So I prefer Lugia because it is a safe pick, it is also tanky, much like the entire team as you can see, and also hits hard. You do not need that Aeroblast to go pretty well against your opponent, because you can still go with your Hydro Pump if you have one. Of course, Lugia requires a trade to fall below that 1500 mark, but you can also go with a Shadow one because it does more damage, and it is always below that 1500 CP, so you can have it in your roster so easy. One fact that I do not like about Lugia is that it is too slow. It sets up too slow, and sometimes it feels like you're never gonna go for a back-to-back. Umbreon is gonna be the lead, the spammy one, the tanky beast that we need for this team to success, and Fighters and Charmers are gonna be its weakness. Of course, you have the backline to cover for those two, but I think that Azu is gonna be a very good pick overall, since it is a safe one, it is tanky, and hits hard with its Hydro Pump, its Play Rough, or even Ice Beam against some grass types. However, it is gonna be predictable because a lot of players are gonna play Azu. It is the Queen, King, Princess, Prince of the meta, no matter what happens on Great League. So whenever we have Azu, yeah, it is gonna be there for sure. The core breakers are gonna be the electric types, but especially Ampharos and Raikou, because those two can go pretty hard with their Volt switches. They are not a Lantern, they are some squishy mons that can hit hard the enemies with their movesets. Yeah, Thunder Punch and Wild Charge are gonna go crazy in the entire meta. So with those aside, I think that this team can success pretty much easily. But even if you encounter those Pokemon, you have some good moves to encounter them down. Okay, battlers, now we have a Meganium line followed up by Politoed and Steelix. Well, this one is pretty interesting because Meganium up in the lead is a hard-hitting thick Pokemon that can absolutely destroy any neutral threat. The super effective ones, yeah, of course it's going to destroy them, but the neutral ones, yeah, that can happen with Meganium. Even against an Umbreon, you are in a very good position with Meg because it is also tanky. Its weakness is gonna be the flyers, of course, because it has nothing to throw at them, but the backline comes here to cover that weakness. We have the Politoed, which is a spammy Pokemon with its Weather Ball Matchot combo, and also has access to a nuke move. You can either go Earthquake or Blizzard. I prefer Blizzard because of the flying coverage, but you can also go with Earthquake for those Azumarill or whatever you might like. I just prefer Blizzard because I use my Steelix as a Thunder Fanger. Thunder Fang can go crazy against any water Pokemon other than the Mud Boys, of course, and also is a very clear flying counter. You can see that it is a generalist Pokemon with a huge coverage on the meta. It is a hard-hitting one because of the access that it has to Earthquake and Crunch, and it also can be unpredictable since your opponent cannot expect all the times that Thunderfang Dragon Tail is the most usual one to use, but Thunderfang is also a considerable one. Its weakness is gonna be the fighting, so this team is gonna struggle a little bit against Heracross, as you can see. Since Meganium has nothing to throw at this Pokemon, Steelix is really struggling against Heracross, but who plays Heracross really? Okay, and Politoed can absolutely go crazy against that Pokemon because of the Weather Ball spam, and Heracross is too squishy. Jumbluff, which had its community day soon, yeah, it was the last one. So Jumbluff is one of the core breakers for this team as well, because it is a flyer, so Meganium has nothing to throw at it. It can go pretty well against Steelix, and against Politoed, yeah, it can absolutely finish it off with this, because it is a grass flying Pokemon. What can you do? A Blizzard, yes, that's why I prefer Blizzard over Earthquake for this meta. So that's all for this team, and now let's move forward into the next one. Okay, battlers, time to focus a bit on some ABB teams. Hoo-ah. Anyways, so Lantern, the hard hitter of this team, is gonna be the leader. It is a bulky Pokemon, much like the rest of the meta, and it is also gonna lose to Grass. Yeah, that's not a very good one, but look at what we have at the back. We have Double Bug, and they resist Grass by a lot, not only by their bug typing, because Ariados is part Poison and Fortress is part Steel, really huge for this team composition. Ariados is a spammy one which walls down obviously the grass types. It is a debuffer with Launch, but also is a closer with Mega Horn. Cross Poison, just keep it, you're gonna need it, and you might turn a lot of matchups around with that boost that you have on your Cross Poison move. It is also a squishy Pokemon, so you might need some shields, as you have learned from that Love Cup, but also you can take some hits if you launch the opponent first. And at the back we have Fortress, which is the generalist of this team, an unpredictable Pokemon with a vast move pool. You can see that it uses Rock Tomb, Sun Tomb, Mirror Shot, all those can debuff the opponent, and also has access to that Earthquake to finish off certain threats, especially that Steelix, which is the core breaker of this team. But before we talk about Steelix, let me tell you that Fortress is a bit weak to that fighting type. You can still hit it hard, so you can still have some options against a fighter, but because this team does not have a clear answer to a fighter besides Ariados, you might struggle a bit with Fortress. But Ariados can really go pretty well against the fighters, and also Lantern, if you can land one Thunderbolt, it is also a very good move for you. Fighters are pretty squishy, so I would not be that worried for Fortress. Steelix is gonna be one of the first core breakers for this team, since it can hold down Lantern and Ariados, but against Fortress it might lose if you can land that Earthquake. And also Hydro Pump is a really huge move from Lantern, so you have a lot of options with that Pokemon as well. Sudowoodo is also gonna be a core breaker because Ariados and Fortress are gonna struggle against a pure rock type. So with that in mind, now let's focus into the next one. Meganium returns on another team composition as a leader once again, because it is crazy as a leader. It is a hard hitting move, as we said, it is bulky and it is weak to flying. Okay, got it, now let's move forward. We have the Quagsire, which is the closer of the team, hits hard the opponent. I have a Shadow rank 3, I guess, one. It is super good if you have one as well. but you can still go with the regular. It is just gonna be a little bit weaker on the offense, but a little bit stronger on the defense. So it is a give and take situation. It applies a lot of pressure to the opponent and also hits hard whatever. It doesn't care. Even against the grass, you can go with those stone edges and go pretty well, but it is losing to grass no matter what. If you have the shield advantage, you can win. If you do not, yeah, I think you're gonna lose pretty miserably. But you have Piloswine on the back. It is the second ground of the team, which is the safe switch, applies a lot of pressure and hits hard the opponent, but it is weak to the fighters. But this one has access to Powder Snow and Avalanche, a really lethal combo for any grass type out there, and the other two can take care of the fighting weakness pretty easily. So the two core breakers for this team is gonna be the Bellossom, because with Razor Leaf I think that thing is crazy, also with Bullet Seed, but Razor Leaf will just destroy down the backline. And Heracross, yeah, you saw it before. I think that against Meganium it will just dominate. Against Quagsire you have a lot of options, but against Piloswine it still farm you down. So if you do not get your Quagsire against that Heracross, perhaps things are gonna get really bad. But who gets a Heracross? I do not have a Heracross for Great League. It is a regional one, and when it was in the raids it was above 1500, so I might use this team for my battles when the time comes. Okay, battlers, the final one for the video, and we have a Misdreavus team, and if this thing can get the boost with the Ominous Wing, well, it's over for the opponent. Of course, its dark weakness might hold it a little bit on the back, but you have Sudowoodo and Donphan for the finish offs. They are both pseudo fighters that can either debuff the opponent, provide a lot of coverage, or just go with some spam moves like the body slams from Donphan. You can see that these two at the back are hard hitters, really cover the weakness for the Misdreavus, but they both lose to grass and water. Yeah, so the core breakers are gonna be those, since Misdreavus cannot cover pretty much effectively, but Misdreavus can take shields up in the lead, go with some finish offs or soft losses. The soft losses means that Sudowoodo and Donphan can just go out of hand over there, destroy the opponent with some easy farm downs on the soft loss up in the lead, and then you can apply more pressure to their back line. So this team, pretty effective. I really recommend to you. It is a spicy line, but if you can play it correctly, yeah, Misdreavus is a very safe lead right now. That's all, trainers, for the showcase, because now we're gonna talk about some Pokemon that I did not include in my video. Skarmory is gonna be one of those Pokemon. I think we saw it as a core breaker on one team, but I did not include it because it feels like other flyers like Noctowl and Lugia that do the work better, so I would just pick one of those and not Skarmory. Jumbluff really feels super safe for the meta right now, but I do not have one since, yeah, I'm a dumb person and I forgot to evolve one on the community day. Ampharos is here to save the game, but it is super squishy. I just do not think that it fits the meta that easily like a Raikou. I love Raikou, but I did not have the best team to showcase it. Whenever I was using it on the practice battles against some of the subscribers that you saw, Raikou just struggled a lot on the defense side. It really did really well on the attack side with double wild charge, shadow ball, really huge DPS Pokemon, but defensive it was really bad because just on Aqua Tail absolutely destroys it down. Heracross is one of the Pokemon that I wish I had below that 1500 mark CP, but I do not because it is regionally locked. I live in Greece, we do not have Heracross out here, so perhaps one day I might get it. Hitmontop is also in this list, since I also do not have one, but I think that it can go pretty well against anything since it has access to close combat and it hurts a lot whatever, and also a rock type move to finish off those flyers. And lastly we have the Wobbuffet, because I do not like Excel Pokemon and also I do not have Excel candies for Wobbuffet. I think I have all in all 2 or 3 Excels, perhaps less, perhaps 1 or 0, but I think I have 2 or 3 for Wobbuffet. So that's another Pokemon that misses from my roster. So with that said, trainers, thank you for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time watching this video, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Be sure to leave a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I don't know why you haven't subscribed yet, because a lot of you haven't. I think that those videos help you a lot. And with that said, farewell to you, trainers. I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care.